Hello, hello. Give me just a bit. Um, I made a whole new profile and scene collection. Let me see if I can. Give me a second, because I realize now I don't have my chat and stuff up. So let's see. I originally set oh, not that. I originally set up the stream, I scheduled the stream for 1:30 on my Twitch schedule. And then that the same class that never shows up to class, did not show up to class. Here we go. Gotta move that down. And so I had a little more time, so we're kind of starting in the middle. Let's see, make sure this is centered. You can see that, right? Okay. I think maybe I'll keep my avatar there. I had on the other side, but maybe it's better here because that way it doesn't cover the reference. But how is everyone today? Like I said, my class never showed up, so I got to get home a little bit early. After I didn't get to leave right away, but after having a bit of a conversation with the teacher, like the head teacher. Yeah, not good news for those students. Let's just say that. If they don't come to class, here's some music. We'll turn that music down. Can you hear the music? If they don't come to class, then they can't get a grade, and therefore they cannot pass. But I won't talk too much about it for privacy reasons. But yeah, I got to come home a little bit early, eat lunch a little bit early than I expected. So I had originally scheduled stream for 1:30, but then I came home early. So when I was making, I used Restream to make an event on YouTube so I could add the tags and stuff a little sooner, like before stream started. And it was like, you want to schedule it for 1? I was like, okay, fine. So somewhere between 1 and 1:30. I was like, okay, we can be 5 minutes late because I have to set up OBS. But now it's all set up, I think. I think it looks fine. This is actually an interesting setup. I have my capture card capturing my laptop. I was trying to figure out, because my favorite way to paint on Fire Alpaca, probably my favorite way to paint digitally, is on my Lenovo IdeaPad in Fire Alpaca. So since I got my new PC and I stopped streaming on my laptop, I haven't been able to properly stream painting on my laptop. So I've been using my iPad, which is getting really, really laggy. I tried using Medibang Paint because Firepack is not available on iPad, so I was using Medibang Paint on iPad. Then I tried it on PC with my XP Pen tablet, and I like the XP Pen, but it's just not the same. I don't know. Even painting in Fire Alpaca. So I just feel like I enjoy painting on my laptop so much, and I wanted to record this painting as well. Like, I do have, you can see the little circle. I do have the time-lapse feature on. So it is recording a time-lapse, and luckily my first painting session of this cat, I decided to turn on the time-lapse as well. But I was trying to record, screen record through OBS onto my external hard drive because I don't have enough space on this PC to record to this hard drive. By this PC, I mean this laptop. And so I had it plugged in when I was in bed because on Monday I had an endoscopy. No overlay today because we have to see the whole screen, I think. It's just gonna cut off a whole bunch. You won't be able to see very easily like the tools I'm choosing and stuff and the brushes I'm using. So I thought no overlay today. Unless you really think I should have it. I haven't designed a Christmas one yet. So it doesn't match the avatar. But anyways, hello. Yep, I mean these are the ones I'm pretty sure I've shown this before. Like my desktop. This is actually my laptop, so it's not my current PC, but uh it's not that different. Not that different actually. So I use Brave, Fire Alpaca of course, and then this is Cricut and Silhouette Studio, Discord of course, then OBS and VODotube, VODotube Mini. And you can see the weather too, it's a little rainy. I love Brave. I think Brave is like, it's just so simple and easy to use, and it's so much better, especially on my phone. If I'm trying to read like articles on the train, it blocks a whole bunch of ads, especially the like automatically playing ones, because sometimes you're like jump scared by like a whole bunch of music on this random news article you're trying to read, and if you forget to turn down your volume while you're on the train, oh no, don't do that. Screensaver. Then everyone hates you. So I love Brave. I have it on both my phones and my laptop and my PC. So I'm a big fan. I don't use the VPN or anything. I don't use any of the extra stuff. And I still use Google search instead of Brave search. But overall, I give it like I want to say 9 out of 10 just because by default it like changes it to Brave search. But I also love it because you can play things, like you can play videos on Twitch or YouTube or wherever, and you can set the media to play while your phone is locked, whereas I think with YouTube, I think you have to have, like you have to pay money to do that. So I don't have to waste battery when I'm like just listening to something in the shower. So my favorite way to listen to audiobooks is with Brave. So it's not just videos, it's like audio as well that you can have playing even when your phone's locked. I never use DuckDuckGo. No, I don't know. Brave search is fine, I guess. Google could be better. I'm not a fan of Google Gemini because it often lies. And I know just the people who basically pay get put at the top of the search, but most people use Google. So that's why it's a little bit more convenient, I think. And I use the Google Drive and stuff like that. So it works out. But yeah, anyways, what was I talking about? We're doing this today. I'm using my tablet. So this started turning out interestingly. I forget what, there's some pet channel, pet Instagram. Oh, thank you. Some pet Instagram where there was this cat, and I think I can think of a few cats that have kind of a face like this. Not Siamese specifically, but sort of like not quite squished, but like really round face. And one of them I know passed away. But there's another one, I don't remember their name, but I think it was influencing what I was, while I was painting. Because I don't think they look super similar. But I wanted this sort of like, I don't know, the eyes just kept getting rounder and like the cheeks a little softer. And so I don't think this cat's gonna look exactly like the cat in the reference image, which is from Pexels. This is a royalty-free photo. So that's fine because I like the way it's going now. But yeah, so this is on my Lenovo IdeaPad and we're gonna try it out today. I couldn't figure out, I was like panicking a little. I was like, I really want to use my laptop to paint, but how do I show it on? And so I was looking on like, what is that? Microsoft's app to like what's the word, project a screen onto like a TV or something. And then this was on Google. Okay, so I guess I have to thank Google for something. It was like giving me all these different options for like how to project or cast onto another screen. And then finally at the very bottom of the list it was like, or you could use a capture card. And I was like, oh, wait, I have a capture card. So we're using a capture card just like I usually do for art streams, but with my phone. I need my glove, which is somewhere around here. Where did I put it? Hello? It's very annoying to do it without the glove. Okay. So this is what we have so far. Do you guys want to watch the time lapse? I can show you the time lapse. The one thing is that the time lapse would not show like on Brave because you need something that can play an APNG file. And I don't think if I open this in Fire Alpaca, I don't think it's actually gonna play it. So I might have to use like Microsoft Edge. Blech. Blech. I hate Microsoft Edge. It's so bad. I hate Copilot. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna try to open this and show you the time lapse so you can see what I did. Oh, I was telling you about how I was trying to save, or like I was trying to screen record instead of just the time lapse. I was trying to screen record the painting on with OBS. Well, my external hard drive, I think, became unplugged. It said there's not enough space, but I think that meant it became unplugged and then it tried to save it onto my laptop. Let me see if I can show you this. Let's see, we need another window. Window capture. Capture this window, please. Microsoft Edge. Please, please. Where is... Okay, video capture device. Okay. This is the time lapse. So I can't control the speed. I'm going to try to make a video. I might combine the time lapse and like the VOD of this stream. But if it looks too weird and inconsistent, I'll probably just use the time lapse because I am still gonna record a time lapse. But yeah, so I was quite bummed out, but I'm glad I at least had the backup of the time lapse. I think watching like a live video, like live recorded video, you know what I mean, like a screen capture, is more entertaining than watching a time lapse. But if I paint on my iPad, I just don't have enough memory, and I don't have enough memory on this laptop, so I have to have something plugged in. But I was in bed because I was saying I had an endoscopy on Monday, and they gave me anesthesia, right? So that's why I had to cancel stream on Monday because I was like, I don't want to play Skyrim under the influence of anesthesia. It's gonna be either hilarious or just really frustrating. So I just got in bed under my electric blanket and I did some painting, but I guess the cord came loose of my external hard drive because I like had it on I had the laptop on my lap and like propped up on a pillow, and it probably just came loose. So yeah, I'll see if I can, like, hopefully it's good enough quality to at least zoom in a bit. But basically I sketched out the cat. I forget when I started the time lapse. Did it show me sketching it? I don't remember. But I did like dots, like at the top of the ear, or like little line where the curve of the back is, and then I just sort of connected the dots. Oh yeah, here it is. And then I got rid of the background and I just kept looking at the reference to the side, but also sometimes I'd make the picture below show up just so I can compare. Like, should I move this over or whatever. But again, you can already see at this point the face is pretty round, so I think I was influenced by those really cute cats, and I think that's everything. That's the whole time lapse. So that's where we are so far. So let's get painting. The other downside of a time lapse is that you can't see like what I'm choosing in terms of like the brushes and the tools that I'm using. You can't see how I'm mixing colors, like if I go over here and I choose a color from here. So that's a bummer. That means I just basically have to explain more. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking like, I'm going like that. And often I'll choose a different color, especially something darker, because I have the mixing turned up a lot. Well, 30, but there's mixing on this watercolor brush. And then I will just start painting. And often you'll see, like if I don't change the color, like maybe I don't have to change it here, it's because I know what's next to it or underneath it is going to make the color I want, or at least hopefully it will. So I'm not picking colors straight from the reference and not altering them at all. This has the mixing up. So for the sake of efficiency, sometimes I don't change it over here, but sometimes you have to. I don't recommend just picking up color anyway. So like this is not dark enough. So I'm probably gonna make the brush a little smaller and then choose a darker color. That could be even darker. I might have to turn down the mixing as well for this part. So maybe we'll do 0 here. This is the right layer, right? Yes, good. So these are my layers. I did do like a neutral gray. And then this is my sketch. And then we have the reference there. In case I really want to compare something, I could probably delete it at this point, but you never know. And yeah, we'll keep the reference over here. And I do want this pretty dark. But that stops like right about there. Turn up the mixing again. To like 30. 30 is pretty good. Oh! An artist I just started following went live. She paints animals too. I don't follow a lot of Japanese streamers actually. This is mixing maybe too much because I want this lighter. Ah! I clicked the keyboard. Even with the glove on. Oh my god, it's gonna snow? Did you see that? Oh! Oh! Oh no. Oh no. That is not where I live. I was like, what the heck? I guess Machias is getting snow. I was like, what the heck? It's raining today. I guess the last time I used this laptop, well, not the very last time, but one of the last times I used this laptop was when I was in Maine. Not in Maine anymore. I'm avoiding using the mix brush yet. And this is kind of hard to like see what color is here because the whiskers are in the way. Like what is at the end here? I'm trying to go darker rather than lighter. I kind of want to make a new brush where it does like several strands at a time. Like if you have a rake brush IRL, I kind of want to make a digital rake brush. It would save me quite a bit of time, I think. Maybe I should do that. I think I know how to do that because I've made a brush before. Hello. Thank you. I'll do like... Can I get some numbers? Thank you. What's a good size? 500? And we'll do like, I mean, it can be black. Maybe you should do this direction. Something like that. I don't know if I made this so big and then I just did this so small. That would be easier, right? I could do a few of those. And then I think you can do like... We'll learn this together. Oh. How to make... I've done it before, I just don't remember. Brush and fire alpaca. You have to save this image. Create your brush on a small transparent canvas and save it as a PNG. Okay. PNG for brush. And we'll do that. Transparent. I don't know if it matters that the canvas is large. And then add brush. That's the brush store. Add brush. We'll say fur brush 1. Maybe I'll make some other ones. This one. Blend is normal. We'll keep it normal. Type, I want watercolor. Soft edge. Do I want soft edge? Yeah. Minimum width, we can make a little smaller. No opacity by pressure. And how do we add... Oh, I have to take my medicine. Texture. Brush texture. No. There's a way to do this. Oh, bitmap. I chose the wrong one. Okay, hold on. This from file. Okay. But I do want to change the settings. Okay, I can do that. Opacity by pressure, no. Minimum width. Oh. To like 24. 70 pixels is fine. It can't be watercolor? Bitmap watercolor. Okay. Ooh, I don't like the scatter though. But maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe that's fine. We'll see what happens. Oh, shoot. There is a scatter. Why? Blend normal. Oh, type scatter. Why? Okay. Why are you going in that direction though? I have to go like this way, I guess. What if I want it this way? I think there should be a way to turn it. Like that. No rotate. No rotate. Color mixing. Default will be 30, I guess. Complement 0, right? Oh, there we go. Wow. I did it. But if I go this way, it's gonna look weird, so I have to make sure I go in that direction. Okay, so I do need... Is there a way to make it change direction just... Nah. Yeah, that just does that. Oops. Rotate angle? Rotate random? No. Right? Yeah, no. Well, that looks kind of cool. But I don't want it to be random. I want it to be very intentional. Oops. Oh my god. Just click the right thing, please. Okay. Then I guess that's that. We just can't really go in the other direction. It's not letting me... It's not letting me just tap. We'll try it out. Oh, what size? Okay, okay, alright. I'm not mad about that. What do we think? Oh, it's like definitely not in the place I expected it to be. Whoa, it's hard to control. Should I make smaller? Okay. Is it because the canvas was so large? Maybe it does have to be like that. It's hard to control though because it keeps going like above where I expect it to go. Interesting. Kind of like it though. See, it's way above what I expect it to be. That. Can we get back? Well, okay. Maybe we do that. And then save. Where'd it go? Not that. Do I have to make a new one then? Same thing as before, I guess. Bitmap watercolor. No rotate, no spacing. Color mixing. Okay. No opacity by pressure. 30% is good. Oops. Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. Okay, that's way better. That's way better. Okay, this one. Can I delete you? Maybe I need to right click that and I can't do that right now. Let's try this one. It's like... color mixing level should be up, maybe? It's like really hard edge. This is bitmap watercolor, right? Why was the other one so much softer? Because it was larger? Or spacing 2? Can't be any less. Why was the other one? Why is this one so soft? I mean, I guess I like this one. It's just hard to use because it's not going where I want it to go. What is different? What did I do differently? Oh, compliment. Is that a little better? Not really. What? How are you different? It is opacity by pressure. Maybe that's why. Aha! Okay. Okay, okay, we're ready. I like it. I do like it. I think it's gonna speed up the process quite a bit. That's too big though. I can't really do it in that direction, can I? And I guess I can. I'm gonna fix this part though. Color mixing is 24, that's fine. Why are you going darker? Why? Why are you so dark? Why? Color mixing is off. Please? I'm so confused. What? This is such a light color. What is happening? That's not right. Excuse me, why is it as soon as I... Okay, complement has to be up a little bit, I guess. Okay, so we'll go back to this one. There we go. There's a cute little round bit here. It's like Out from the pupil. Okay. Still doesn't, like, it works, but you can't see like the texture that I like made with it if I go to the side, like this way rather than this way. So I don't know what kind of brush you can make. If I do this, but in all directions. Would it then work no matter what direction I do it in? Okay, that's not gonna work. It's getting cut off there. Okay, that already went off the edge. Like something like this. So that no matter which direction you go in, we'll call this fur brush 2. And then I want to get rid of this one. Ah. How do I get rid of you? No. Okay, we want this for brush 2. No spacing, no rotate. Hello, stop. That was just a lot of lag. Okay, now I have to redo it. Complement. We have to have some complement, I guess. Okay. So what does that look like? Okay. That does work in every direction. Okay, I like this one. I like this one. Let's try this one. I like it. I like it. I like it. It looks like tufts of fur now. Nice. Cool. We did something. It's not that difficult to blend. How does that look? Maybe a little darker. Ew. Bot and chat, bot and chat. Banned. Okay, we can kind of get into the groove of it now. Try to get these sort of in between shades. Okay. Like, I gotta fix this nose though. Should be with this one. I'm liking it. Certainly means fewer brush strokes. Oh, I have coffee. I made a gingerbread latte. I just used Boss Coffee latte base and some protein milk. Gotta save every time I remember. And then I put in some kuromitsu because it's really hard to find molasses here. And then I like to make a syrup so that it's not just a bunch of powder from like powdered spices, but this is the lazy method. So I just put in some cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and some ground ginger. And it's a gingerbread latte. Okay, what I think I'll... Oh, my medicine. I forgot to take my medicine. I said it and I forgot to take it. Shoot. Oh my god. I'm allergic to this cat, even though it's a drawing. I am pretty sure I'm allergic to cats, by the way. I always kept cats, but once I got into like college, every time the cat would sleep in my bed, I would struggle, especially with breathing. Okay, so now at this point, I think I'm gonna do what most people do, and we're gonna do like a base for the face, because the face is the focal point. The mic. I'm talking directly into it. Because the face is the focal point, I usually just kind of do it smaller piece by smaller piece, because I want a lot of the subtle, like, I don't think of it as like big shapes. I think of it as like very small shapes and like patches of color. So that's why I often do it like piece by piece rather than like drawing a whole blob out first and then rendering that. But for the body, since there's like much larger tufts and not as much of a shift in color in most areas, I'll go ahead and just color that in a little bit so we have a base. Though for this I do want to at least mark where the leg starts and stops, so I don't lose that, because I am going directly over my sketch. We'll grab that. And we'll do much larger shapes and then render on top of that. I do want to more grab like the general color of the area. I can't make this brush too big because it gets really blurry on the edges. And I want the edges of the cat itself to be relatively crisp. So, sorry if this doesn't seem efficient, but that's why. So I'll take like, and it's okay if this isn't the final color. I will fix these colors later, but this is just to get an idea of like where the higher points are versus the lower points. I will grab a lighter color here though, because for some reason that wasn't looking light enough. Something like this, just quickly. Like I see a shape like this, I paint a shape like this. So we can sort of see, one, the contours, two, those subtle shifts in color. So like with the Siamese cat, the warmer the area is, the darker the fur. So like the face and the legs and feet. I think that's how it is, right? Or is it the colder ones have the darker fur? I don't know, it's something to do with temperature. But we're trying to get the contour, but also the like shift in color. What is like this situation? Like that, maybe? It's a much lighter color here. Till like this point. But like bits like that. Like almost stripes. Like so. There's a lighter bit here that I want to preserve so I don't forget about it. And this is super dark. Keep forgetting. I got an Etsy order today. First time in a while, and I got nervous because of what happened with the rug that accidentally went to the US, because Japan Post is still not accepting sales of goods to the US. So you have to go through private courier. Or even gifts above $100. Or, well, 10,000 yen, which is actually less than $100. Wow, amazing. It's a cat. We're done. Just kidding. Just kidding. So kidding. Save whenever we remember. But actually, this order is going to Canada. So it's not a problem at all. I do want to get sort of dark bits. Because I don't want to draw them on top of the fur. I want to cover them up. So it really looks like how it does in the photo, where like those are the shadows where the clumps are covered by other clumps. That makes sense. Ow! This glove is not helping at all. I think with like tablet kind of things, like this is a Lenovo IdeaPad, which is like a tablet PC. I think these kinds of gloves just don't help. It's very frustrating. Same thing with the iPad. Even if I turn off gestures or whatever, which I wouldn't want to turn off all gestures. But like finger stuff. It still doesn't work with gloves. Like, it still registers my hand. This is like super bright. So I think the goal is to make this kitty cat a little bit rounder, tiny bit fluffier maybe than the reference image. I can't remember. Can't remember the cat I was looking at. I don't know if it's, maybe I saved something on Instagram. I can check later if I can think of it, but sometimes I see cute pets on Instagram, like, oh, I want to paint them, but obviously I don't. Because, I mean, I would have to ask permission from whoever took the photos, which I'm assuming is usually the owner. If I plan to ever sell it, which often happens. I must have done that a while ago. Keep pressing undo and it's not undoing. There we go. That should be a little darker too. Sometimes I want to go online and just be like, send me your pets, let me paint them. And maybe if people see it, they will respond. I would like to expand my portfolio. Because, like, yeah, I went and chose this cat, but what if it was someone's cat who, like, would really appreciate some free artwork of their animal? But I don't want that to be an expectation all the time either, but sometimes I just want to, like, come on and be like, tell me what to draw. Tell me what to paint. Like, you give me, maybe I'll do an event like that or something. Or like viewer's choice, or like I draw chats, pets, or something like that. I'm trying to make this look a little more consistent now that I'm using a different brush. So I'm just going over it a little bit. Needs to be darker. It's gonna come together. Like, maybe I should put the whiskers in just so we can see what it's gonna look like. Something looks off. Like here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Lag? Okay, we're good. We're good. Is that blue? It is blue. Wow, you see colors you wouldn't expect sometimes when you, what's this called, color pick? I have to render the nose more too. I was gonna save till I do the body a bit more, but sometimes it helps to work back and forth. I don't understand. It doesn't feel dark enough. But it also feels too dark. Oh, I'm using the pen. That's why, because it's not blending. Like, what the heck? Thought I clicked watercolor. Oh. Maybe I'll just undo all of that. We'll render that later. Let's work more on the body. I don't know, it just feels like it has to be darker. Okay, I almost want to go like pure black. Because it's like losing dimension? Maybe if I turn down the complement. It's like not... Okay, maybe don't turn down the complement. It's still... used to be deeper. I just pure black. Give me blur. Pure black. Okay, we're adding a bit more dimension now. I'll go in and properly render it later. I just wanted, because I want to make sure I can see the darkest values, because that's what I'm comparing everything else to. Nah, it's gotta be darker. Oops. Okay, now I can sort of taper these out so it's not so stark. Hopefully. Oh, hello! Welcome back. You didn't miss much. I was struggling for a bit. Though I do like this brush. Ah, what kind of homework? As a teacher, love to hear it. Honestly, try not to give too much homework, but sometimes you just have to. Like, we're approaching winter break, and I'm like, guys, we got so much stuff that we haven't done. And we have to get it done before the break. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, we got lag again. Stop it. Optimization. Sometimes you gotta, sometimes there's just so much to do, so little time. I honestly wish I didn't have to give any homework. But like, we got lesson plans to follow. There's things that you have to make sure people know. I don't know your teacher's, like, what's the word? Curriculum, or what's required of them. Like, I know for me, I have to follow a textbook, and we have to, like, ideally we'll get through the whole book in the year. So we have to make sure we get certain things done, which means that if we run out of time in class, then certain things have to be finished at home. Otherwise, we just can't do what we're supposed to do. Or, like, you don't have enough practice doing what you know, like, before, like, the final exam or something, or before the break, you have to make sure that it's sticking. Well, like, I feel like I have a lot of freedom too, but I also feel a responsibility to make sure we get done what we have to get done, and sometimes there's just not enough class time. So I feel like for the majority of the year, I mean, I hardly ever give homework, but now we're getting to crunch time, and it's like, well, we have to do a test, but we didn't have time in class to practice this part. So you're gonna have to do it at home, and then I'll check it next time. And then I can confirm, okay, they did learn the thing, and they will be ready for the test. Again, just so much to do, so little time. So, I mean, I used to be a student, but I understand both perspectives of, like, you're very stressed because you want this student to be successful and, like, actually know the subject. So, I get it. And it does just end up being, there's always a crunch time. If it was, like, easy to space out homework, which usually I feel like most people plan, like, we do this, but then sometimes it just doesn't work that way. I don't know what kind of homework they're giving you. I almost said prescribing, that's for a doctor. I don't know what kind of homework they're giving you, and their reasoning. I know why I had to give homework today, even though I actually normally don't give homework. And it's because I have to make sure that we finish what we need to finish before the break, which is very, very soon. I have to make sure they know what they're doing. And we have to feel confident that they've remembered. And that they'll remember later too. Ideally, these are things that you'll remember for the rest of your life and be able to, skills you'll be able to use for the rest of your life for whatever job you end up taking or whatever. It feels like I just had that class today. I didn't have that class today, the one that never shows up. And we have determined, I don't want to say too much for privacy reasons, but we have determined that myself and the other teacher that, like, we basically, one day of the week I teach that class, the other day of the week the other teacher teaches that class. We cannot pass them. It's just not, we have nothing to grade them on. Not to say that you never went to class or anything, but it's gotten to that point where there's no time to make it up. I don't know. I can't make a judgment from here. I don't know the situation. I don't know if, like, these assignments were planned to be done beforehand, and they just couldn't get around to it, or they're being told they have to do this before the end of the semester, because, again, hello, it is, I guess, I know, it's always crunch time at the end of the semester. or like before break or something. I was a student once as well. We would call it March Madness, just like basketball, except it was students not sleeping, living in the library. I would prioritize sleep, to be fair. I would always prioritize sleep because you can't work well if you haven't slept. Also, you have to remember, if a teacher is giving homework, they probably are the ones who have to correct it, like look at it and grade it. So they have a lot of work to do too. One reason I don't like giving homework is because it means it's a lot of work for me when I feel like we're more productive in class anyway and I can answer questions more easily. But again, sometimes you just gotta. There's only so much time in a day. Oh, but they probably have to look at some things. I have a TA in my class and I'm not gonna, like, I like to give TAs some work and it helps a lot, but it's not like I can just let them have free reign. You never studied for an exam ever? I never had to do a ton of studying. Like, I always had a pretty good memory. But I did do some, like if I had to study for like a map test and I had to know where every kingdom was in like 14th century Europe and then the surrounding rivers that affected trade and stuff like that. I had studied the map. Yeah, I mean, it's hard work. It's hard work for everyone. I try to make, it easier. And like if students ask for an extension or something, I've said this before, I never say no if they just ask me. Though, like, at this point, if a student tells me they can't come to like the very last class and that's our last chance to do like the test or like get through a unit, then I'm like, I'm so sorry, but like, are you sure? Because I have to like submit your grades. And once we get to the end of the year in particular, like, I've asked like other teachers, what should I do if like the student just didn't come in and we couldn't do their test but they can come in next semester? Like, do I add it to this semester's grade or... And like, yeah, and you have to keep it fair, right? Like everyone's taking the same test. So I don't know, it's a hard balance. It's hard. Teaching's hard, okay? Studying's hard and teaching's hard. I don't think so. I found cramming is actually not that helpful. My memory's crap too. Like, my area of study happens to overlap with my hobbies and fascination, so it's really a problem. I've never crammed. Like, I always just... I mean, I did some, like, last-minute reviewing, I guess, like, right if I had free time before a final test or something, like the map test or something, but... I don't know. I was never a crammer, and I always, like I said, I prioritize sleeping and eating. Because you can't... You do much better, or at least it's less torturous to take a test when you're properly rested and you've eaten enough. You have a great story about students not showing up. Hopefully it's actually great and it doesn't just make me mad. As the teacher who, like, honestly, they're paying me. Like, I'm getting paid. I don't have to care. It's not my money or a little bit of my time's being wasted, but not a lot of it. But unfortunately, I do care about these students and their future, so it is a bit stressful. An acquaintance taught architecture at Beijing University. Okay, go on. hopefully their future in their job. I did just got an email. I just turned off, like I turned my phone on to silent. But if you heard that ding, that was an email about the problem. And I haven't read it yet, but I did have a conversation with the teacher who sent that email, and then also the head teacher of my department. And yeah, it's not a good situation. Anyway, about half the students didn't show up to class, and so of course they got a 0 for the course, and you marked them down as such. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. Is that the story? Is that all of the story, or did some twist happen? No, that's literally what's happening. Like, if we don't have anything to grade, then you have to get a 0. I can't make up scores that don't exist. That's just how it's gotta be. Oh, the college admin called him? What, was it like a mistake? Like students didn't realize they had to go? Did they get the wrong schedule? Oh, thank you. Our kitty. Whoa. What? I don't remember following this person. Someone is streaming on Twitch. Wait, did they change their username? I don't remember you. Who are you? It's a cute name, but who are you? Ghosts and stuff. I must be playing ghost games. The cat's cute? Is that what you mean? I appreciate it. I'm trying to like blend this out. Like, ugh. Okay, that was a mistake. There we go. Anyway, it seems that the CCP had decided that clearly their colleges were the best in the world and all their students are the most brilliant. How did I draw it? Okay, because a few people joined. I will bring up the time lapse. I still have Chrome up, actually, so that's good. Chrome? No. What did I open? Oh my god, I can't think of it. Microsoft whatever. This one. I can't restart it. Can I? Oh, here we go. This is how I drew it. I did like dots and lines just to get like a idea of where it sits on the canvas, and then I sketched it out. Like so. This is the best, thank you. I disagree, but I do appreciate the hype. Show everyone how you generated it with AI. Oh yeah, so I have my program doing it one brushstroke at a time. My chat GPT prompt was to create my own fur brush. I can't even think of a funny joke. So administrators forced my acquaintance to pass almost all the students who never showed up or who'd be asked to leave. That's insane. That's insane. That's why I don't live in China. Not to say, like, any country is perfect. I don't think that is as likely to happen in Japan, though. To a degree, maybe, because, like, there are lots of times where I've had students who got abysmal grades because they never studied for tests or anything, and they just didn't know the material. And like I said, I can't give you points that aren't there. And then the teacher gives them like a whole bunch of extra credit assignments, like their homeroom teacher, not me, so that they can pass. And I'm like, okay, if they put in the effort, that's fine. But sometimes it's like, okay, but they're going to pass and then they're going to graduate and then they're going to go to this company that sees that they learned English and then they're not going to be able to use English. And it's concerning. Like, it's not like I don't want them to pass, but the whole reason of pass fail is like, do you know how to do this skill? Like, do you have these skills? And then when you apply for a job, the job knows that you studied this and you have a degree in this and that you can do this for them. Okay, I think that's everything, right? That's the whole everything. Some countries are closer to perfect than others. I think that just depends what we're looking at. You quit the next semester. If you wonder why Chinese buildings keep falling down, now you know why. No, I always suspected something. Yep. Sure, on the right layer. This is a nice in-between color. Ah! That was not where I wanted it. Ah! Blend. Does that look like fur? It's like a splotch. Oh, that's too dark. I mean, yeah, there are definitely countries that I would not move to. It's even worse in high competitive fields. See, that's where it's dangerous. Also, did I click on that? Oh! Hey, that's my avatar! I clicked on that by mistake. That's what I'm saying, these gloves don't work. Because it's like pressure sensitive with very little pressure necessary. Well, this isn't working. I'm like touching it with my pinky and it's not moving it. So how did I manage that? Oh, I just did it with my knuckle. People like to rag about the US education system, but at least here a degree from Caltech or MIT still means something. That's true. That's true. Very much true. I'm like trying to decide what we need to do. We need more dimension. Also, passing class just suggests that you know the skill and the level being taught in the class doesn't necessarily mean you know how to apply it in the real world. That is true as well. That is true. I tried in my classes to make things realistic. Like, I teach English, and so I want students to feel confident about using their English in real life situations. But there's only so much you can teach from a textbook, so that's why, I mean, from my personal experience, studying abroad is like the biggest thing. Like, having to use it, not having a choice, was what really improved my Japanese skills. And then, of course, even just like, what's my job now? I'm a teacher. And I don't have a teaching degree. I got my teaching skills from training I get from my job. And then it's one thing to be in a training session, and it's another thing to go and teach students. So being, like, for example, I was asked if I wanted to do a workshop. And my manager was like, well, you've been here the longest, and I know what you're doing. Or I know you know what you're doing, so. You know, sometimes you need experience. Pen pals thing? Ooh, hold on, let me reach out. Perfect is the point of view. A perfect country for me is vastly different. Exactly, than a perfect country from Muslim fundamentalists or Kim Jong-un, for example. Exactly, yep. I wish we could do pen pal stuff. We did actually at one point for one class. Though I like came into that class sort of like because another teacher had to leave. So I was not there from the beginning. So I didn't get to participate much, but I know that they got to do some kind of thing. And it wasn't specifically pen pals, I think. It was they would do like web, like Zoom calls, which I think is even cooler. Though I do like the idea of getting mail. I used to do that. I had a Finnish pen pal, and she sent me like Moomin stuff, and I sent her like American candy, and she sent me like the best chocolate I've ever had in my life. That was fun. And I just did that online. That, like, by myself. I went on Interpals. I don't know if that website's even up anymore. My mom was a little suspicious at first. And she had every right to be, but this ended up actually being a child my age. As far as Kim Jong-un is concerned, North Korea is perfect to hold nation's economy and military at his personal service. Yep. Pen pals aren't so much of a thing anymore because we have a much faster way to communicate over the world. Yeah, like snail mail. I think we can still, in a technical sense, you know, people who have friends from other parts of the world that they didn't originally meet in person, we can still call them pen pals, we just don't anymore. Like, I have friends who live in other parts of the world, but I met them originally in person, and then they moved away. But in Tokyo, we see, especially in like the English teaching community, you see people from like all over. So I have a lot of coworkers from like so many different countries. How do we make this like a better shape? I feel like the fur went in the wrong direction here. It's gotta go this way. Sure, let me... I mean, I feel like on our Discord, we're pen pals, right? We should set up like a P.O. box. I mean, if I had money, I would set up a P.O. box. And if other people had money, it's just, you have to worry about nowadays. Like, I mean, even back then, you needed to worry about stalkers and stuff, but if you're, especially if you're like streaming or something, you have to be careful. Like, you can't even film near your window. I'm a little nervous. I mean, people know I live in Tokyo. But Tokyo's a big place, so just because I like say, oh, I went to Shibuya the other day, like, good luck finding me in Shibuya. I mean, you could. I never go to Shibuya, by the way. Only if I absolutely have to. But just as an example. Am I the only one? I don't know. Raise your hand if you're in Japan. I just started following someone who streams at the same time as me. She's really cool. She's a good artist. And so I think that was the one that we rated last week. Rui-san. I don't think you could stare in my window because I'm not on the first floor, and there's a reason I'm not on the first floor. And there's also, well, I have two reasons why I don't hang my clothes outside. One, allergies. If I get pollen on my clothes any time of the year, I have an allergic reaction. Two, people will steal your underwear. So, I mean, I've heard, especially if you live on the first floor, but I've heard of people climbing up to the second just to steal a woman's underwear. And it happens all the time. Like, this is not a rare occurrence. So if you are a woman, even if you're not single, like if there's ever a chance that you're home alone, you know, be careful. My friend, they're married now. My friends. One is born and raised in Japan. The other one is a foreigner. But they recently, relatively recently, moved to a new apartment. And at first their neighbors seemed fine. But once the guy started like going to work and leaving his wife home alone, the neighbor lady just went cuckoo crazy bananas, and now she's afraid to stay home alone. So recently when we've been playing D&D at my place, she comes along even though she doesn't play because she's afraid to be home alone. So if you think Japan is a perfect place, it's not, okay? There's many great things about Japan, but also don't assume it's perfect. Please don't assume it's perfect. I feel like it's looking too scraggly. Oh no, it is a thing. It's not a stereotype. It's definitely a very common thing. Like if you talk to a police officer, they'll be like, "Yeah, you shouldn't hang your clothes outside." As a woman. Or like buy men's. They say you should buy men's underwear and also hang them out, so that people think that there's a man living with you, and it's a little bit safer, I guess. Yeah, I don't like how that looks. Oh, it's because the color mixing was turned down. I was like, what the heck? No wonder it's looking a little crazy. I gotta somehow get this like transition. It's looking like maybe it's just too dark. Oh yeah, on the dark web. You're not allowed actually to do Home Alone shenanigans. You would get in big trouble. You're not allowed to like booby trap your property or anything. Okay, that's looking better. That's looking a lot better. I think it's because I had the color mixing turned down so low. Yeah, if you're a foreigner in Japan, especially, even if you're a native, but especially if you're a foreigner, if someone attacks you, do not fight back because you could end up in jail. Which seems ridiculous, and I do think it is ridiculous. But no, you could end up in jail. Do not defend yourself. That sounds horrible, but. Oh, someone might. I don't know who exactly, because I don't have anyone in particular that is trying to steal my underwear, especially because I don't hang it outside. I had a girlfriend that was stealing my underpants and sweatshirts, and after they stopped smelling good, she'd give them back. You just gotta refresh them, put them back on, stick them up for a few days. I think we're looking a lot better. Try to blend out this part. Because it's like partly covered by this leg, and then some of the fur from here is starting to cover it up a little bit. Like in like the longer bits of fur. We might exaggerate that a little bit because we're making our cat a little more fluffier. You'd have to explain what you were doing. Well, if they had reasonable suspicion that it was on purpose, then you would get in trouble. Because in Japan, there is no innocent until proven guilty. If they suspect you of a crime, they can hold you indefinitely. And especially if you're a foreigner, you have very few rights. So, I would not risk it. Not worth it. feel like we need more of this sort of like triangle shape. Chat's in the way, but hopefully you can see what I mean. Yeah, don't defend yourself, actually, though. Like, maybe realistically, most people would understand why you would, but you could still get in trouble if they wanted to press charges. Also, there are no Good Samaritan laws. So, if someone is in trouble, people often will not help them. Not because they don't care, but because they're afraid of getting in trouble if they accidentally make it worse. So, there's that too. If someone gets hit by a car and you want to try and move them out of the street so they don't get run over again, you could get in trouble. Which, to a degree, I understand you could seriously hurt someone if you move them after they get hit by a car, but I don't know. A lot of people just won't help. Though, I did tell the story before of when I was in Saitama and I fell. I tripped and fell outside the station. And it must have looked like see, I hate that. It like pressed down here with my finger. I tripped and fell and people did come to help me. So maybe people in Saitama are more likely than people in Tokyo to help you out. One lady even offered to buy me a new coffee because I dropped my coffee. I didn't take her up on the offer. She just said, okay, then I'll throw that away for you. And she went into McDonald's and threw it away. Because I fell right outside the McDonald's. I was okay. I just was scraped up a little because I fell on my food bag. So it was so close to being a really bad thing where I actually face planted into the pavement, but I was like a centimeter away from touching the pavement. Okay, let me reach out a little bit. What happened? The old samurai spirit of hacking the arms of random people for the crime of looking at you odd. Maybe they went too far in the other direction. Maybe. MacArthur didn't instill enough of that cowboy spirit. Maybe not. To be frank, he's pretty well known. Japan is pretty... Yeah. I mean, if you've ever played Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, or Gyakuten Saiban in Japanese, then you know, like, the whole premise is that it's guilty until proven innocent, and there's, like, a 1% non-conviction rate. It's like 99% conviction rate, let's say it that way. Which is the whole reason why the main character, like, becomes a defense attorney. To protect people. Come on! Come on! There we go. Whew. Sometimes it just doesn't register the pen, and I'm like, are you freezing? Are you crashing? I'm gonna save. I'm scared. So basically, I'm terrified. I mean, knock on wood, I've never had a police officer ask me for my residence card. For the record, if you visit Japan, you are legally required to keep your passport and or residence card on your person at all times. Like, if a police officer comes up to you and demands to see it, you have to be able to show them, otherwise they can take you straight to jail. And that's not an exaggeration. It happens all the time, and I read about it in the news all the time. And there are certain individuals who are asked more often than others. I have never been asked. But there are, people they're a little more suspicious of than others. They don't care about white girls, I guess. And there's the old samurai spirit. I don't know why I said thar. We're samurai pirates, I guess. We shouldn't be going that small yet. I want the, like, tufts, but I want them, like, I don't want it as wiry really. I want it to look a bit more soft. This still kind of looks like a band. And not the cool kind of band. Soften it out a bit. For the record, in case any police are watching, I always keep my residence card and my passport on me, because you never know. It's like not any brighter. I just gotta break up some of these shapes with like fur that's covering, like it is here. Well, to be honest, wait, hold on. Well, consider moving to a different country that also needs English teachers. But I like Japan. Well, to be honest, here in the US, if you go outside without an ID, you're likely to get talked to by an officer if you're caught up in anything. I guess so, yeah. I feel like people don't appreciate how much the legal system being bad can be horrible for them because the odds of them interacting with it is very minimal. Yeah. Yeah, they can't just stop you and demand to see your ID, though. Still need probable cause. Yeah. Yep. You don't in Japan. You just ask. Like, oh, look, there's a foreigner. Their skin tone is a little suspicious. Let's ask them for their ID. They're probably overstaying their visa. Like, yeah, okay. Like, enforce the law. But enforce it at least fairly. Oh my god. Keeps doing that. I still feel like this doesn't look like this. I made it a little brighter. I wanted a little bit more of like a highlight. That's this part. Needs to be more gradual. Maybe that's alright. It looks like a band, but it does look like a band in the reference image. Like that. That looks like fur, right? The US probably depends on the state. A lot of states require you to ID when being detained, which is just reasonable suspicion. Right, yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure in Maine that's how it is too. Like, if they think they witnessed a crime or someone told them that they witnessed a crime, then you should give them your ID. Like, there's some, like, I see videos sometimes, like, I understand, you don't have to like the police, and sometimes police are awful. Actually, a lot of the time police are awful. But I see so many videos of people, like, not showing their ID, and I get why you don't want to, but, like, you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get in trouble. I'm not saying it's right, but, like, you're gonna get in trouble. Speaking Japanese, your main marketable skill. I don't think moving to another country is good. That's true. Like, I have a degree in East Asian Studies Japan track and a Japanese degree. It makes sense to live here. Let's see. I think, honestly, this looks like it's too brown. Because it is in shadow. But it's hard to, like, show shadow versus, like, the dark color of the face. So maybe this needs to be darker. I don't know. Okay. This is us without the sketch. His face is cute. It's just throwing me off because it doesn't look like this face. Which is fine. That's part of the goal. We don't want it to look the same. But now I'm like, what do I do to make it better if it's not supposed to look the same? Like, maybe this side is sticking out too far. Why? Stopped registering my pen. Is the battery going low? Does that look better? And then like... Maine only requires your ID if you're being arrested or stopped while driving. Ah, I see. Well, put yourself in the policeman's shoes. You interact with hundreds of people every day. Most, if not all, don't want to talk to you, right? Some are scared because they were caught being naughty, and the rest are angry for being bothered. Maybe they will show you their ID and be reasonable. Maybe they'll run or try to kill you. Yep. Is that looking a little better? It's hard to see on this gray background, actually. Like, this tone in particular is so close in value. This tone? This... Yeah, no, that's right. Is that the right word? And then the top of the head, I'm like, you got a funny hairdo, little guy. But maybe I like it. Oh, that is so annoying. Okay, we should render the black, like the really dark bit. Also, all the reasonable suspicion / probable cause goes out the window if you're in a private residence. Then they most of the time need at least one warrant depending on where you're located. Yep. Well, one problem is it is a dangerous job, but sometimes you make it more dangerous by panicking, right? And that's where I feel like a lot of the things we see in the news, that's where the issues arise. De-escalation should be priority number 1. We want to avoid big problems. We want the situation to become less of a situation, if possible. Or like, I mean, there's that one, what was it? Chicago PD, I think it was. That one episode where the newbie grabbed his gun instead of his taser and he shot someone who definitely didn't deserve it. I know a guy who's an officer down in San Diego. Guy had been shot 5 times in his job. But then you have to also consider, well, there's, I'm sure, plenty of good officers. Any kind of job that gives you like some kind of authority over someone has potential to be abused and to attract the people who are likely to abuse that kind of job, that kind of power. So like we were just talking about teachers. Some teachers should not be teachers. For sure. And some police officers should definitely not be police officers. Does that look like a tail? Also, I know, I mean, lots of people like to mention the domestic abuse statistics for, you know, people, particularly spouses or partners of police officers, which, like, you have to consider it's a stressful job. They might take it out on people close to them, but also, ideally, if it's possible, if a person like that exists, the people doing that job should not be the kind of person who takes out their emotions of whatever kind in a violent way on people. I don't know. It's a hard job. I couldn't do it. To be honest, the more I hear about Maine, sounds like a decent place for your rights, so the weather probably is kind of bad. If you don't mind, well, I think the worst thing is having to pay for heat in the winter. Because you need it. You need it, but it's very expensive. Every position of authority will inevitably attract power-hungry, egomaniacal persons. Exactly. Look at politics and the TSA. We talked about politicians in a previous art stream. Okay. How is Kitty doing? How do we feel? Gotta get some of this here and then cover it back up right way. So it was just sort of emptiness. Like so. And a little bit. I don't know, man. Is that looking right? I like the eyes. I don't think I really want to change the eyes. Okay, we gotta darken up this face somehow. Like, literally black. Maybe if we turn up the complement. Still light. It's like this section here should be darker. Gotta keep just like color picking and making it darker. No whiskers yet. Maybe we should add the whiskers, that might help us out. I know I said that earlier. Best place for personal rates is probably Alaska. State troopers can't be bothered. There are only a few of them, and they have their hands full with dealing the shocking amount. I'm assuming you meant amount of drug dealers or serial killers that hang around there. I guess for personal rights, but then you lack protection and like swift response to trouble. So like if your goal is living off grid, maybe that's a good place. That's where a lot of people go to live off grid. But one of my players actually worked for the Department of Corrections in Alaska, and he had some stories, let me tell you. Maybe I'll get some interesting anecdotes from him and we can discuss them on stream. He said he was thrown in the trunk of a car. When I said, like, we were talking about something, and something about, like, our schedules being left out, where someone might be able to see it, which is obviously a little bit dangerous. And I was like, well, because he's very tall, especially compared to me. I was like, well, I guess out of all of us here, you're the least likely to get kidnapped. And he was like, well, actually, it's like the Little Prince's sheep. As long as you're not running around shooting people in the streets, you're probably okay. I guess so, but I've heard a lot of problems with Alaska too. Maine has a lot of problems too. We're talking about personal freedoms, but then there's a lot of drugs. It's like a big reason why I'm not there anymore. Because there's like no... It's like a... There's no jobs. There's no money. There's very poor healthcare. Almost no hospitals, especially in rural areas. So, like, is anyone surprised? I'm not surprised. For privacy's sake, I won't say who, but I know someone, a family member. I mean, he went into, when he was a teenager, he went to rehab for teenagers, and he came out with like a new sweatshirt from gambling. Right? You'd think that if you're in there for like addiction and stuff, they shouldn't let these teenagers gamble their personal possessions. And who knows what else apart from a sweatshirt they were able to get their hands on. But I understand also there's just not enough people working in healthcare. Like, they're constantly understaffed, so like, what are you gonna do? At least in Japan, there are, not to say there are zero drugs, you just don't hear about them. And the Yakuza is not as big of a problem as it used to be, but it's still a problem. I mean, my very first interaction with the police here, they tried to ID me. I questioned their reasoning. They just blamed me for not listening to them because I didn't agree to ID. You can't have security if you want freedom. They are rather diametrically opposed. Yeah, guess that's the truth of it. How do I, like, fix this spot? Like, make it look like it's behind. It's gotta be darker, I guess. Maybe we should start adding the little stuff. Oh, I don't know exactly where he was. And I don't know if I should say for his privacy. And I don't think, even if I tell you his first name, it's a very common first name. I think he is 6'4" though. I think that's what he said. He's quite tall. I mean, I know, well, he doesn't live there anymore, right? He lives in Japan. So I couldn't give his address even if I wanted to. It does start with a J, but it's not John. John Doe, not John Doe. I think he said he used to live in Anchorage. But I don't know if that's where he worked. And I will not say much else, just for, again, privacy's sake. Oh, wait. I want this brush. We could try putting in some whiskers. How thin? Okay, that's the yuck. Like that? Is that too low? Okay. We got the little eyebrow whiskers. Yeah. Chris on YouTube said he knows someone who works for the Department of Corrections in Alaska. So he might know him. But I don't want to give too much detail, like I said. Not my place. I just think he lived in Anchorage for some amount of time, but I don't know where he worked. And we're gonna reduce the opacity as well of these whiskers. Is there like thicker whiskers or like straight? Or like it's more like there's two right next to each other. I'll separate them a little bit. I feel like it's too sharp. Is it? And Anchorage is pretty far and full of tweakers. I'm on Kodiak. Is it more peaceful? I know he wasn't born in Alaska, but most of his life was in Alaska. Never been. Personally, I heard it's kind of like Maine. Just brown bears instead of black bears. How can I do... I feel like if I do a Gaussian blur... And then... It's not really changing. I don't see any change. Okay, I see a change there. That's too big of a blur. I just couldn't see it. Come on! Oh, press the button. Press the button! Fine. I'll redo it. We have the biggest bears on Earth here. Big boys. Aren't the Kodiak bears the most famous ones? I heard over the last like century or so, they have gotten a lot smaller because of hunting. Okay, I like that. I like that. To soften it a bit. Okay, doesn't look as sharp. Let's see, it's 3:06. Let me check my schedule. I should have until at least 4, though I do have laundry that I need to spin before I hang it up. Load. Okay. We're still good for time. Although once a bear was breaking into people's cars and drinking all their Capri Sun, so we had to try and get in a helicopter out of town. You know what? If I was the bear, I might break into people's cars and drink their Capri Suns. Not gonna lie. I might do it. Okay, so here's what I like to do with a lot of paintings. I don't know if I'm gonna render out much more of this, but because often I use these really blendy settings, right? Like high color mixing and stuff. I lose a lot of dimension and contrast. So I like to make another layer on top, multiply, and choose like some sort of color that fits, that's used somewhere. Like that. And we'll add more dimension this way. So it's like glazing. If you ever glaze IRL, like traditionally. So we're adding some glazing. Smaller? No, not really. The population is exploding because the boars are allowed to be hunted, and that brings down the killing of the babies. Well, I meant like the size of the bears. I heard are becoming slightly smaller because of trophy hunting. Like, compared to like 100 years ago. And I feel like I can add a lot more of those lighter furs on top now. Once we get to that point. And I might use the mix brush to blend out these shadows. Like there, I think it looks a lot better, but honestly, I might want it darker. I should make this a clipping layer, I think, yeah. That might be too dark, but it looks a lot better, I think. I think it was just too light. And that was really throwing me off. So let's try a mix. This is my favorite brush, is the mix brush, honestly. It's not smudging it. It's like blending with a paintbrush more so than just smudging it. For reference, I'll post a picture. I think I've seen pictures, but I wouldn't mind seeing one. What was I using? Was I using the fur brush? I think I was. See, I like how it looks more real now, with more dimension on the neck. It's hard to keep those darker values when I'm trying to blend color at the same time. So basically, glazing is a go-to technique. And I just I'm using the mix brush at 100%. This is the default mix brush. I'm just making it kind of completely disappeared right there, but so now we're making it look a little more real, I think. We can add those sort of like where the tufts are, the shadows for the tufts. A slight lazy eye. I think it kind of looks like that because part of the pupil is covered by this. But also cats have those second eyelids. And so my cat, whenever she would get really happy and like lazy, it would look like she's cross-eyed, but she's not. To me, this looks like a very relaxed cat. Though this one, I think, this eye, I think I could, let's see. That needs to cut in a little bit more. Oh wait, no, not the fur brush. Ah, it's too big. What am I doing? Like so? Maybe? Are my hands okay? My hands are good. This glove doesn't work very well. This is an arthritis glove, but it's too big. In Japan, I feel like I have to get, for now. This is why I didn't punch needle. I kept saying I was going to do gingerbread rug. I don't think I'll do that design, but I'm planning another design for a keyboard rug, and it's going to be like a gingerbread house, which hopefully will work up a lot faster than like a kitchen rug. But I have to consider my hand. My hand cannot handle my hand cannot handle a lot of stuff. So even doing this amount of painting with like this pen is risky. Okay, we want this again. We need that color, dang it. How do I... What if I do that? I think that's about the same. Because it's not full opacity, but... Okay, we'll keep going. Pretty sure as a child my mom did needle punching with us with this electronic puncher. I don't have an electronic one. I have a handheld one, like just a needle, like what I used on stream. But you can get guns, like tufting guns. That's what they're called. Which would be nice, but I don't have a frame to do that. So even if I were to get one, they're a bit expensive. Definitely compared to like the standard handheld needle. I mean, tufting guns are handheld. You know what I mean? The single needle. You need a stand. Cause you gotta, like for me, you have to have it like stretched and like hung up somewhere. Yeah, it's just expensive. Well, like I was looking on Amazon. I could have put one on, I was considering putting one on my Christmas list, but I would need such a big frame. I guess it doesn't have to be huge, but I would need a frame and I don't know where I would store it here. The hoops, you used a hoop? Like an embroidery hoop? You'd have to have a stand for it though, right? Like, I can't, yeah. I use embroidery hoops, but I don't have any with a stand. And I feel like with a tufting gun, you have to make sure it doesn't move. No? No what? What is the no to? I was talking too fast. I don't know what the no was for. I want this brush, right? Yes. I think I was using the other one by mistake, but it doesn't matter because I was blending it out. No stand? I mean, I can't imagine because there's like so much force behind it. How did you hold it? Was it like a single, like you could hold it in the palm of your hand, or did you have to like press a button or pull a trigger? Because the ones that I see, no stand, but maybe what we did isn't as large as what you think. I can't imagine. I don't know. I can't imagine what you're talking about. Maybe it is different. Like not with a sewing machine. Did you use a sewing machine? Then you wouldn't use an embroidery hoop unless it was like on an embroidery machine. So I guess you could have. Am I on the right layer? Yes. Paranoid, always paranoid. The worst fear of a digital artist. Painting on the wrong layer. Okay, we're getting our dimension. Love to see it. Well, there's like sewing machines, like regular sewing machines, but then there's embroidery machines. But it wasn't with like one needle hooked up to a big thing. It was, I can show you. Oh, this thing's still up. Punch, needle, gun. I guess it would be tufting gun. Like this. This is all I know about. tufting gun. And so this is by hand. This is what I usually do. I suppose like there's these things, but that's for needle felting, not for like putting yarn. Usually you have to, oh, that doesn't look quite the same. Like this is how I usually do it. Embroidery hoop, or I have frames. Oh, this is how you do it. You need a frame like this because you need the tension. So I don't know if you can hold it. Oh wait. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know. I don't know what you used. Did that show? Yeah, it must have showed. I hope you saw that. Okay, anything else? I feel like this could be a bit darker. But then mix it out. Okay, well you can tuft with like all kinds of weights of yarn. That's too blurry. I don't like that. Okay, that's better. Oh, wrong brush. Well, thank you. If there is like a method that isn't so expensive and doesn't require a stand, I'm definitely open to it. This might be a little darker over here. Looks like there's a gap. I want it darker. Looks like there's a gap there, but it's not covering it. Because it's a clipping layer. And I think that did not, like I didn't paint anything there. I'll use the mix brush here. Okay, okay, how are we feeling? It looks too much like a curtain, like someone gave it a bad haircut. And I didn't really render out this leg, did I? Maybe I should go back and do that. It's still like see-through in some parts. Why does that look so much like a... Oh! Because this goes up like this. It's like a void. It's like black. Except like here, I guess it's a little lighter. I want to exaggerate that a bit. If I can. Like this section can be a void. Does that look a little better? But there is kind of a gap here. But I can't let it be like see-through. I mean, this foot is touching here. Ah. We have to make that fuzzy again. And perhaps we'll do a little bit of that. Okay. It's sort of blending in, but that's fine. That's what we want. I do feel like because this is just like nothingness, now this looks like it's not rendered enough. So like, should I add, oops, that's a mixed brush, a little more dimension since we don't see, oh, like we don't know where the lighting's coming from. Like I can imagine here that there's a light here and you can see light coming from this way. Should I make it a white background like in this reference photo? Wait, I want that with this. I want to get some of these, again, shadows from the tufts, but I don't want it to look too obvious. I like to really stick out. Just want some texture. Maybe I should do a little bit of a mixed brush here. Looks kind of blurry. I don't know. Maybe I don't like that. Oops. I don't know. I'm randomly clicking places. Okay. I suppose we can do another layer of like, why don't we do like this and like overlay. Let's mix. Nah. Lighten. Okay, maybe that. We'll do. It's too thick. That kind of situation. Like so. We can start putting in these lighter bits. That way I don't have to keep choosing a new color if I just do lighten. Like these sort of heathered bits or mottled bits. I like it. I like it. Okay, Chat GPT plus your mom were helpful enough. Okay, what is it? Yeah, link's fine. You can send a link in chat in case anyone else wants to see what we're talking about. I trust you. I haven't banned links yet. Oh, it is an embroidery machine. Okay, punch embroidery machine. Let me see. Oh, this is vintage. Wait. Not that. Where'd it open? Open in this one? Yes. You can see all my bookmarks. Easy punch embroidery machine. Wow. Okay, okay. So this is with thread. I'm assuming this is quite a small needle. This would be really fun to do like what do you call it? Hold on. Let me get rid of this. Oh. That's my alarm. Here, let me show it. No. Wrong window. We want... No, not that one. Where is it? Why don't you show... Show this one, please, OBS. I'm begging you. It doesn't... Hello? Oh, this one. Wait, no, that's not it. This one! Aha! I got it. Yeah, I mean, this is punch needle embroidery, for sure. Just looking, if I move my avatar, hold on. You can see properly. That is punch needle embroidery, but I'm assuming it's quite a fine needle. I can't see if the actual needle's in here. It's hard to see. But this looks like you use like standard thread, not even embroidery floss, but that would be really good for like patches if you want to make embroidered patches. Yeah. No, I don't know what the problem was. It wasn't showing like when I tried to select which window to capture, it wasn't showing Brave. It was only showing Microsoft Edge. Oh, I'm hungry. Why am I hungry? Did you hear that? My stomach was like, "Bleh." I did have a very small lunch. Okay, we're on the home stretch, all right? I can do this. We don't have to rush this time. I promise. Oh, those are the actual needles? Okay. All right. I'll check it out. Like, I'll see if... Your first time seeing Fire Alpaca? I mean, this is an open source program. It's always free. Oh, I gotta fix this. Dang it. Ah, stomach, stop. You're not hungry. You're lying. What is happening? Thank you. Actually, I really have to pee. I know we're on the home stretch, but give me a second. Give me a second. I finished a bunch of water and coffee like an hour ago. My bladder's like, please, ma'am, I'm begging you. Okay, give me just a second. I'll be right back, and then we will finish up this cat. I promise. I should probably hit save. My worst fear is I step away and then my computer crashes. All right, BRB. I have returned. And I drained the washing machine, so it'll be ready to spin right before I leave. Okay, let's fix this bit, which honestly, I'll probably just have to take from here. That's better. Just sort of make it squiggly. I fixed that side, but I didn't fix this side. Let's make this a bit puffier. That's because of this. Right? Oh, dang it. Why are you doing that? Okay, that's better. I think. Let's blend this a little bit. Ah! No. Blend this a little. Am I ruining it? What did I do? Undo, undo. Is it undoing? Can't see a difference. Oh. Okay, I see. Let's keep it like that. That's fine. That is acceptable. Okay. Now all I can see is like a big shape here, though. I don't like that, actually. It's not acceptable, actually. Oh, it's a mix brush. Okay, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. It makes sense why it was looking too blurry. I understand. Sorry for being angry. That is acceptable. Genuinely now. We don't forgive or forget. Oh, that's a good song. Some folks sing. Some never forget. Haven't seen the back of this yet. We'll find as long as we live. On the hidden door. Okay. Let's add a little bit to the chin here. Does Japanese Amazon still have Lord of the Rings? That's what I'm wondering. So I was listening to the score last night. Good music. Oh. It was written for The Hobbit, based off of Far Over. It didn't have that original tune, but when the dwarves sing Far over the misty mountains cold, through dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day to find our Lord forgotten gold. The pines were roaring on the heights, the winds were moaning in the night. It's a dragon attack, by the way. The fire. Oh my god! Someone find me a glove that actually works. We're almost done. We're almost done. We're just getting these little shaggy bits. They didn't like me doing a silly voice for a very serious song. Okay, note to self, don't use the bars on the side. Just use your fingers. I wonder if this is too thin. Maybe that's better. It's a little more wide. We're gonna like exaggerate a little bit. It's more interesting for a painting. Okay. What about here? There's not much on the tail, but I feel like I gotta make it a bit even. Don't use the side thingy. What are those called? What are these things called? I almost used it. If I click it, it just goes all the way to the side. I don't know why. We gotta bring some of this out. Wait. Glove that actually works for tablets. Huion art. Oh wait, I have that. I have the Huion glove. Wait, I have that. Where is it? I think it's next to me somewhere. I'm not gonna search for it now. Parblo, Mixu. I just hope that this... I don't know if it's different. Like, cause like, you use hand gestures, right, for this laptop. So maybe I should search for one that's for like iPads, cause it uses like a similar kind of gesture situation. I have, well, no, I'm not using the Huion one right now. I'm using an arthritis glove that I got from Amazon, which to be honest doesn't work very well for arthritis. But it wasn't designed for tablets specifically, but I don't like that. I did too many. No. Need something here though. I mean, it might be on me not using the tablet thing, but it works for like my XP pen. So I assumed it would work for this Lenovo IdeaPad. And it did not. I know what I have to do. I know what's bothering me. I know what's bothering me. We need more shading here. Yeah, that is working. I just couldn't see a difference. Darker? Darker, maybe? I mean, because with drawing tablets, they are, like with the XP Pen or something, or the Huion, it's not sensitive, it's not supposed to be sensitive to your fingers. But like with something like an iPad or a Lenovo IdeaPad, it's supposed to do like finger gestures, but I can't turn off finger gestures because I need it for like saving. Like if I want to save or if I want to zoom in or zoom out. So if I turn them off completely, then I can't do that. So that is my main issue here. So I want the best of both worlds. Maybe I should just get good. No. I like how I was holding the no brush and I said no. I didn't mean to drag it. I clicked the wrong part. Okay, team. What do we think? If I do much more, I'm going to feel like I'm rushing. Do we want a background? And how's some of the fur, like... Maybe I should use the soft eraser. Like this looks a little... I don't know about that. Couldn't see that perfectly. Because it was a similar value to the background. Give me a little haircut. What do we think, team? We hitting save? Should I do like a background or something? If I saw this as a sticker, would we want like, I don't know, like a little... Well, the light's coming from that way. So it'd be like that. Like that situation. A little darker over here. I should move the mix brush closer to the watercolor brush. Do we like that? Not enough half cats? Okay. Alright, next stream we're drawing a cat cut in half. It's exactly what I planned to do. Why? The mixing is high, I think. Like, why is it so light? Ah! No, my pen battery's low. I guess that means we do have to stop soon. But if I do... Oh, no. Oh, no! Oh, no! The battery actually just died. Oh, no, it's back, it's back, it's back. But then, like, because the paws are black, I don't want it too dark. I don't know. I kind of like it without the shadow. If we make a sticker, it can't have a shadow, I think. A mistletoe. What, like... Oh, that's the wrong brush. Mistletoe. All right. We're gonna save again, and then we're gonna save as a transparent PNG. Transparent, and then we can make stickers if we want to. Or whatever. Whatever we want. What's a good thumbnail? Gotta zoom in a little bit. Maybe I can hide this part. I don't want to close it because I don't have to... Good thumbnail. Let's... Oh god, how do I do this? How do I do this in tablet mode? Snip. Big tool. New. Boop. Boop. Can't I just do all of it, please? Mode? Oh, I see. Save as. Sure. Capture. I'll have to send that to myself now. Unless I take a screenshot here. Wait, I can do that. That's very easy. Screenshot! I'll use the actual OBS preview. How about that? Does anyone remember Cash Me Outside? How about that? What's her name? She got a name for herself. What's her name? Yeah, we're going with default names now. Capture. Okay. Excuse me. Hello, where did you save my screenshot? Couldn't be under the folder titled screenshot. There we go. Crop. Update. Update. Update, update, update. I don't know. Should I zoom in on the face more for the thumbnail? I think it's fine. It's already 3:53. I have to spin my laundry. What was it though? Bad Baby? Is that the one I'm thinking of? All right, I'm gonna, let's see. How does one do this? Time lapse? This one? Oh, it's like continuously doing them. I see. Because I did time lapse. What is this called? Always record time lapse. So I guess every time you open and close it. So if I close it, are you frozen? No. Wow, you can see all my fur brushes. Then, if we open... Oh, I don't have my... Dang it. You know what? I'll upload the time lapses to the Discord. So I'm gonna go now. Thank you for watching and chatting. I appreciate it, as always. I will be back on Friday. And I have all day free on Friday. So I should be able to stream at the usual time. And we'll be playing ESO. And then I think I'll be able to stream this weekend to make up. Yep, I do have RetroArch. Love RetroArch. Wait, it says snow and rain. Is that still saying? That's still saying the wrong place. I'm not in the US anymore. But I guess Machias is getting hit. No, we just had a little rain today. I should go. I always do this. I always just want to keep chatting. Should we raid? Should we do a little raid? If Dewey's still streaming, then let's do a little raid just to say hi. Yeah, she's still streaming. Let's raid. She's doing painting with pastels, animals, cats, dogs, birds. Oh, she's doing a bug. Cool with pastels. All right.